Hi guys, and welcome to another YouTube video. Before we get into this one today, I just want to say that I hope you guys are all keeping safe during this quarantine process, and I hope COVID-19 is not affecting your lives too greatly. Now, the reason behind and the inspiration behind this video is through my live streams, which if you haven't seen them before, twitch.tv/Stallion. I stream every single day apart from Tuesday and Saturday from 2 PM UK time, and our content is primarily Call of Duty based. And a lot of my viewers have been asking me, Stallion, why did you move away from console to becoming a PC player for both Call of Duty and for streaming in general? And now the way that we're going to break this video down is by doing it into several different sections, as we love to do. Okay, so section number 1, we'll talk about PC versus console and why I made the change personally. Section number 2 is to why I prefer mouse and keyboard versus controller. Section number 3 is going to look at the products that I use, including my mouse and keyboard, and give you guys a bit of a close-up to the products and the benefits behind them. Section number 4, we're going to talk about in-game FOV and frame benefits from being a PC player. Section number 5, we're going to talk about a game/product that I use to help me train my aim, and something that I use that really helped me transition away from console to PC and becoming a better player as well. Section number 6, we're going to talk about future-proofing for future needs when it comes to Call of Duty, when it comes to streaming, and making sure that you guys get the right specs and setup ready to go. It's not going to be too much technicality in it, but I'll give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of what specs that I would use or recommend for Call of Duty gameplay and streaming. And finally, we're going to wrap it up with section number 7 to show you guys a little bit of gameplay from PC and my Call of Duty best clips. So let's start with section number 1. Why PC versus console? Now, somebody who played console for 20 plus years, starting all the way from Game Boy Color and Sega, all the way to the PS1, to the PS2, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and now finally PC. Why did I make the move away finally from console to PC? Well, firstly, friend recommendations. I started streaming also 2 years ago, which is also the same time that I made the switch. And I just wanted a platform where I could do everything, including streaming, gaming, and just do it all on one hub. As much as people were talking about, capture cards and being able to stream off your console still, I just felt like the benefit for streaming and playing games off the PC was too much to not do it. So I tried it. I was very basic when I first started, but I got so obsessed with it that I've never looked back. And for anybody who's thinking about moving from console to PC, if you want an all-in-one, easy-to-manage platform where you can just do it all yourself and become an absolutely beast of a player, I very much recommend it. I've never looked back, and I guarantee you won't either. Number 2, we're talking about the mouse and keyboard versus the controller. Now, I've gone from PS4 controllers, which are quite small in your hands, to Xbox, chunky controllers, which I personally preferred. I like the ones that fit the palms a bit better. And I've always felt like I was at least a decent Call of Duty player when it became to Xbox. Call of Duty 4, you had Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I was always, racking up around a 2 or 3 KDA on there, winning most of my games. However, there's just something about the mouse and keyboard where the fluidity and the control of every single situation is just feels a lot more smooth. Now, I'm not even sure if that's purely because of the PC gameplay, but I feel like I have a lot more control in my own gameplay when I'm using a mouse and keyboard. And because I made the full change, and because I got into the the whole system that I'm into now, there's no way that you'd ever catch me going back. If you do need some mouse recommendations when it comes to sensitivity and in-game settings, I personally would recommend 800 DPI. Now, the reason I recommend such a low DPI is usually professional players or FPS players normally play anything between 400 to 800 DPI. That allows for smooth transition to actual hitting your shots. Anything above that can be risky, missing your shots. That's why I also recommend getting a gaming surface, so that if you need to move your mouse left and right further to be able to turn around, you'll also be a lot more accurate on your shots and still be able to react quickly when it comes to other players. So 800 DPI, I recommend 4 cents in game. Some people use 5, some people go as low as 2. That's up to you, to whatever you feel is smoother. 4 cents in game for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and my current ADS settings are down as relative versus legacy. Moving us on to section number 3, the products that I personally use, and to give you guys a bit of an insight on them. Let's move into the second camera where you guys can see what I use. Move this out of the way a little bit. And if you guys haven't already noticed before we even talk about that, check out the new gaming surface. We have the Stallion brand here to match the screens and just everything, Stallion color brand. Now, we can take them out in style. All right, so as you can see, let's begin with the keyboard. This is the Ducky, and this is the Akko X Ducky 1.2 Mini with the cherry red switches. It's fully RGB. It is a 60% keyboard. Now, what that means is it gets rid of the number pad, it gets rid of the F1 keys, you have your function key if you want to do all of that, and it also gets rid of anything that's on the left-hand side as well. It's small, compact, looks good. the switches are super reactive, and you can minimize space on your mouse mat or gaming surface, that if you're a comp player or if you play FPS games, that you can focus on having more space to flick with your mouse, be reactive to situations, and not be hitting the keyboard with these big chunky keyboards that you see these days. In terms of the mouse that I use, this is the glorious Model D, which is great for palm players, as it's nice and it's a little bit more chunky than the Model O and allows great fit for palm players, and it has the 2 buttons on the side to allow for macro plays. I use them personally for either mounting or melee kills, and then I also have them for field upgrades as well, so it's great for on-the-go upbeat gameplay. Alright, so now moving back into the face recording, and now that you guys have seen the specs, moving on to section number 4, we're going to be talking about in-game FOV, which stands for field of view, and also talking about frame benefits as well. Now, in-game FOV, when it comes to PC, you can allow yourself to have up to 120 FOV from the slider on PC, which gives you the most background vision and also makes your gameplay feel really fast and fluid. I get a lot of console players that come into my stream and ask me, why does this gameplay feel a lot faster? Why does this guy move a lot quicker than we do? That's because the field of view changes in the slider, and because I play at max field of view as well. It allows for really good fluidity and just makes the game look really good and smooth as well. Now, when it comes to console, you can only have a standard / maximum, I think it's around 60 or 80 field of view when it comes to Modern Warfare. The reason that they don't have a slider is because it would cause FPS / game issues, because I believe it's the current consoles right now are not strong enough to handle the FOV slider. That may change in future consoles and future generations, but I know as of right now, you can only have a standard field of view, which is what the game on console looks slower than what it does on PC. Now, also, as well as that, we talk about frame benefits. If you're a console player, the max frames that you can have is 60 FPS versus a maximum of anything from 240 plus on PC. I personally stream and play to 144 FPS, which means that the game looks really fluid, it looks really smooth, and as well as really fast FOV. Once you're running at 144 FPS and mix that together, the game looks really fluid, fast, and just looks really great for a viewing and gaming experience versus consoles 60 FPS. Moving on to section number 5, we're going to be talking about a special program that I use. The name is Kovacs on Steam. Now, you can purchase this on Steam's library for I think it's about £7-8, maybe around $10 or so, maybe even cheaper from when I purchased it. And the reason that I use KovaaK is because it's an aim trainer that has a series of exercises that you can go through, whether it be strafing, whether it be target shotting, or whether it be difficulty challenges. You can test yourself on a mouse and keyboard, get used to a sensitivity before you try to translate that in game. Now, what I would recommend is obviously also use the game to make yourself better, but if you're a brand new player when it comes to mouse and keyboard and you need help getting used to, the mouse aim, if you need help just getting used to a brand new sensitivity, I very highly recommend Kovacs, starting off with that and then translating that over to Call of Duty. Moving on to section number 6, future-proofing yourself for future releases and to look at a standard benchmark for PC gaming and streaming for the current Call of Duty. Now, this game takes a lot of CPU power to stream, even to game with it right now. The new games that come out on PC do take a lot of power, and I do recommend to go around for anything for an NVIDIA graphics card of something around 1070 quality or higher, depending on your budget, and obviously if you can afford it, of course, because they're not cheap. 1070 is what I would gauge as a minimum standard if you don't want to stream or game at the very, very lowest settings, if you want your game to look good as well as playing at the same time. As well as that, if you want a decent CPU recommendation, the processing unit, I recommend go with AMD, aka Ryzen. Go with the 7 series. I wouldn't go any lower than the 7 series right now, especially for Call of Duty, especially if you're streaming as well. I had an i7 from Intel, and trying to multitask with that thing was just nowhere near as effective as AMD's multi-cores. AMD are really running the game right now. You'll generally find that they're actually cheaper, and they run really well when you try to play games like Call of Duty and want to stream at the same time. So very highly recommend a Ryzen 7, as well as a 1070 or above. I personally have a 2070 Super graphics card right now from NVIDIA, and the thing is absolutely beautiful. All right, let me take you guys to some clips of my PC gameplay, and you can check it out for yourselves how good it can get. Holy shit, come on. I'm fucking insane. So yeah, Chick-fil-A is massively overrated, bro. I did not see the hype in that. Don't know why y'all find Chick-fil-A so good. All right, come on. Give me more. Yes! Stop. I will be your Easter egg only if you bite into me. Oh my god, let's go, clip it. 5 piece. my god. Let's go, baby. Woo. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay from the PC. Thank you guys so much for taking your time to check out this video. I really hope this helps some people translate across from console to PC, show you guys the benefits and how good of a player you can become as well. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave any comments below for any kind of constructive criticism. We're always open to that, or any nice comments or nice things that you think about the video as well. New videos are coming up all the time. We may be even translating to 3 videos a week very soon, so keep an eye out. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching.